Great rising, great being, and great ending, depending on what part of the day this reaches you. Man, I don't even really know where to begin. Um, I miss y'all. I miss this the podcast. It's a different way for me to vent and to help and just to you know get a lot of my wisdom out there and a lot of my message out there to those who feel they may need it or may be going through a particular thing in their life right now that they feel um, no one understands them or no one knows what to say. I try to be that that source where you can come and get those feelings and kink out your shit. Hence why I'm always saying, come get your vibe right with me, because at the end of the day, everything's frequencies and vibrations, and in life, our we get disrupted. Our frequencies and vibrations get disrupted. So sometimes you gotta get it right, and there's plenty of ways you can do that. Music, writing, art, painting, running, working out, cooking, whatever hobbies you have that you use to get your vibe right. It's plenty of ways, but I just want to try a different approach. I want to give people a different type of outlet that is more convenient. Um, because you can always, put your headphones on and listen to something. Compared to, you know, dropping what you're doing to go work out. Sometimes people need to get their vibe right then and there. So that's what I inspire to do. I inspire to be there for those people. And sometimes you guys help me. Sometimes these days I just need to get things off my chest. So that allows me the opportunity to kind of connect with you guys and let you know more of who I am and what I'm about and what my walk in life and where my evolution with who I am is right now. Because plenty of us are going through that, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to get better. Be better, think better, eat better. Um, buddy of mine always tell me, man, I can only get better, and I think a lot of us need to get that. That mentality. That things can always get better. Because there's times where you know to use myself as an example that you know you kind of can have everything that you say you want or ask for, but you can get tired of it, or you feel like it's not enough, or hell, you even become complacent in that moment to where you no longer um, are appreciating the moment now. You know what I mean? And I speak a lot about the now moment, because it's something that we really have to grasp. A lot of us are always in the past or we're always in the future, and we're never really in the now. And it really takes a balance of all three. You know, um, a balance between reflecting on the past and appreciating the now and being hopeful and planning and executing for the future. We have to balance that out. So uh, this is my way of trying to balance myself out, and hopefully this could be a way to balance yourself out. So I feel like I've been rambling, but I just this is a different podcast. This is something new I want to try. Of course, you can still check out the videos on YouTube at the Motivating Therapeutic Mentor. Great couple series on there. Check that out. But I want to kind of transition the content from my YouTube channel onto the podcast, because there's so much things that we could talk on, and I could talk and talk and talk hours about life and connecting dots and universal clues and just the things that I've collected in my lifetime from books, life experience, those around me, just multiple things to try to you know balance that that need to be better. You know what I mean? So that's what this new podcast is about. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking, and we start talking about how life and destiny plays its course, no matter what we try to do to detour it for our own benefit. You know, so what I mean is, like, have you ever had those times or them moments when, like, you know what you want to do, and hell, you could be in the midst of doing it, but when you don't see the results you want, or you don't benefit from the efforts the way you had in your mind when you started putting in that effort, we kind of come impatient, and like in those moments, right when when we're getting impatient, we tend to fuck up a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes being impatient, it detours us from getting that feedback or that reward that we put forth that effort to gain. You know what I mean? So, like, I heard this analogy from this wonderful documentary, The Secret. If you haven't seen that documentary or read that book, it's a great read, and it's a great documentary. I forgot the author of the book, but I'll try to put it in the description below. But in the book, The Secret, his analogy was thoughts become things. What we think about, we bring about. And ever since I've heard that, I've applied it to my life. And as I've applied it to my life since I've seen that documentary, I've seen the results. I've seen it come into fruition. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen many things be fulfilled just because of a thought I've had. And if it wasn't for that thought, it wouldn't have manifested into the physical form of what it is, whatever I wanted. And there's a lot of people who may have heard that, but they don't really take it serious. You know, like, there's a lot of power in our thoughts. You know, I was doing some journaling earlier, and I was talking about how, you know, thoughts are like seeds. You know what I mean? And I use that analogy, and I love that analogy from that documentary so much, because we plant that seed in our mind. So, like, if you have something you want to do, you will plant that seed in your mind, you will envision it, and then you will start to work your ass off to try to get it. And, you know, you're applying the law of attraction and the law of action into the universe. But because you feel like you've put in a certain amount of work to where you need to be seeing a reward, you get impatient, or we get impatient. And right as that seed is about to sprout through, right before you start to see the littlest faint of a green anything, we start doubting. And as soon as we start doubting, it's like we're killing that plant. It's like we're taking away its nutrition it needs to grow. That first sign of doubt, you just cut off the water. The second is the sun. You see what I'm saying? So that's all our mentality. That all has something to do with our mentality, you know, how we think. And when we do that, again, we deviate ourselves from getting that breakthrough, and sometimes we cause ourselves to start completely back over when all we had to do was be impatient or have a little more faith in ourselves and our hard work. You know what I mean? So I know I get like that all the time. So if there's anybody out there who is feeling like that or has felt like that, man, I feel you. And for those who are in that mind state right now, look, all I can tell you is only you can stop you. there are going to be plenty of things and factors and variables that can slow you down, but only you can stop you from getting wherever it is you're trying to get and achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I'm telling you, like, I used to try to tell my niggas all the time, you know, like, what we think about, man, we bring it about. As far as like drama, trouble, you know what I mean? I can look back on numerous of times where I'm like, I was so, I guess, not necessarily a negative mind, but I was negatively influenced, so it affected my mind. It kind of changed the way I started to think. So be mindful of that. Like, don't let these outside factors, you know, and variables and roadblocks change the way your mentality operates. Like, stay true to who you are. Remain strong. You know what I mean? Like that the saying 10 toes down, like, do that shit for your mental, because once you can strengthen your mental and gain that power over your mentality and your thoughts and how you think things and how you focus, like, you will be unstoppable. You know what I mean? And I know I'm talking and I'm saying this like it's so easy. Trust me, I struggle with this all the time. Hell, I'm even struggling with it now. Hence why I haven't been doing the Vibe Right podcast. You get what I'm saying? Hence why I kind of haven't uploaded any more new videos, because you get like that, especially me as a Gemini. Like, it's one day I can wake up like I have it all planned out, you know, and then other days I wake up and I'm just everywhere, you know. So, like, be mindful of who you are and how you think. Because once you know who you are and how you think, you can then filter out other people's thoughts that may cross frequencies with your vibrations, and, you know, disrupt everything you got going on, you know. So don't be so hard on yourself, you know what I mean? Like, what your destiny is and what you are to do, it will come. It will happen. It's inevitable. You know, that's another thing we was talking about, the inevitable. Like, uh, everybody has that one thing that's just in their life that's inevitable, of who they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do. And a lot of times we go against the grain of the universe because, truthfully, like I said earlier, we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we're supposed to do. We don't know what we want to do. All we know is to, you know, I guess, kind of look around and see what everybody else is doing and kind of following suit off their life path and their quote unquote level of success and where they want to go in a career or what they want to do for their life. You know, like, figure you out. You know, I don't want to start getting too deep into you know, learning who you are, because I do that on, I got the series on YouTube for that. So if you want more of that, you can check out the YouTube series. But I digress. What I'm saying is, just have that faith in you. You know what I mean? Don't quit now. All this work you done put in, like, could you imagine, like, and then sometimes it takes you to see it happen to another person to realize that you do it to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm starting to realize. Like, I know a few people who have, like, some of the greatest ideas, some of the, just so much that they want to do and want to reach out and go get, but then they stop. They give up on themselves, or, you know, they start letting other people feelings and energies direct where they gonna go. And it does not have to be like that. Don't give up on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and I know if you're out there and you're going through, like, one of the hardest times, you know, to where this shit I'm saying is, like, making you want to shut it off, by all means, I can understand that. But what I want you to get from this is that you can shut off everybody from the world and still remain the same. You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's not always just, you know, the outside variables. Sometimes it's us. So I want you to really think on what it is you can do for you. Because a lot of times we confuse who we are and what we do for us. We confuse that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, to break it down a little more, is sometimes the choices we make and the decisions the paths we choose to take, the responsibilities we choose to take, they stem from outside sources sometimes. Like, did you really want to go to school for that? Did you really want to have this type of job? You get what I'm saying? Kind of make sure, take some time, reflect, make sure the decisions you're making that are determining your life for a long term are your decisions and not based off someone else's perspective. Because the thing about perspective is they can only have a perspective for you to a certain point. Like, at a certain point, that outside person who's giving you this advice or who's telling you what's going on, they can only come to here because they don't have that insight on you like you do. So don't stress over things or make yourself feel like you a failure or you letting yourself down, or hell, you letting someone else down, when in this entire time you haven't even been chasing what's you. You haven't even been you. You haven't even been you. A lot of times we imitate other people. With sometimes, like, our surroundings manipulate us and alter who we in the essence are. You know? Yeah, be appreciative of where you at. Be appreciative of the things you done been through that was hard, and just them days where you was looking and you just didn't know what the fuck you was gonna do. But look at where you at now. You made it through, and that's what I'm trying to get through to you. Nothing stays the same. Nothing lasts forever. So always strive to get better, to do better, to be better. You know? It's inevitable that we rise to be greater than those before us. That's the evolution of it. Keeping in mind that I know this world is crazy and there's so many things altering how this energy ecosystem is supposed to work, but when it's all said and done, that power is within you, not within other people. Yeah, they can have an effect on us, but the power is within us to allow that to affect us. How long are you going to allow things and others to affect you and keep you from the inevitable? Which is whatever you know it is you're supposed to do, because you know what it is you're supposed to do. Oh yeah, I'm calling you out. Y'all out, myself out. We know what it is we're supposed to fucking be doing in this world, or at this time, or for the future, or what we're supposed to be learning from the past. We know. We just choose not to do it because, one, it's probably scary. Two, it's probably uncomfortable. But fear shouldn't determine your next move. Being uncomfortable shouldn't determine your next move as far as bettering you and being the best you can be. All positivity. All positivity. That's what I'm about. Because I done been through a lot of shit. You know? I done been through a lot of things. And there was nights, hell, when it was plenty nights where I'm like, damn, why my life had to be like this? Or why am I the one to go through this situation? You know what I mean? Why I gotta be working at 14? You see what I'm saying? Why couldn't I really enjoy my younger years like a lot of other people got to, as far as the mental state? Physically, yes, I had fun. I did plenty physical things as a child that allowed me to savor somewhat of an essence of childhood. But I'm talking about from a mental standpoint. You know? But I made it. You know? It can always be worse. Sometimes when I think on the past, I can kind of get stuck in it. Now, we're supposed to use the past to reflect. Hell, sometimes we even use the past for laughs and memories. You know, a lesson learned. You know, I remember when this happened. I don't do that shit again. Uh-huh. I don't trust that bitch. Fuck them niggas. You know what I mean? But there's also a such thing as being stuck on the past. There's also a thing as being stuck in reflection. And I was watching a tarot card reading from a wonderful lady. I watch her all the time. Her name is Elise. If you have not ever got your tarot cards read or haven't really tried that, you should definitely try it. It's different. Yeah, it was different for me. So I was watching my July reading, and in the cards, she called me out. Not me directly, but directly for the card reading that I was getting, you know, for how she was delivering. She called me out about reflecting too much. That's my problem. I can get caught up in the past so much because I just don't want nothing to be like the past. And I know somebody out there feel me where you just bust your ass and you just overdo and you overthink just so you don't have to relive a situation in the past. Don't let that fear drive you into insanity. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that fear of the past can keep you stuck in the past, and it's a fucking cycle in the past when you're trying to just move forward. I seen The Rock Johnson, shout out to him. He had like a video where he went to go talk to the Laker players, and he was telling his story about how he stays successful and where he's at right now, how he keeps driving and keeps going. And he said one thing he had to click in his mind is always have his back against the wall, because there's nowhere to go but forward. And that's how we have to think. That's how we have to be. Like, yes, reflect on the past. Use the past to help you maneuver and your intuition to maneuver where so that you won't make the same cycles. You want to break free of some of these cycles. Break free of some of these agreements. Another great book you guys should check out, 4 Agreements, a wonderful book. And it talks about agreements, the things that we agree to. Sometimes we need to switch up the things we agree to. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe that's why that seed won't grow. You probably got the water, the sunlight, you know what I mean? But you not even, how should I say it? You're not even putting that care into it. Because with gardening, it takes a sense of care. And that's what that care will be, what I was speaking on. So, just moving forward, progressing. There's nothing like progression. Because when you're progressing, that's evidence that you can make it, that you can do it. Hell, maybe some of us need to start waking up like that. Okay, I woke up. I made it to today. That's progress. That's something positive. Somebody didn't make it. Somebody did not make it today. But you did. So what are you going to do with that time? See what I'm saying? When our backs are against the wall, we have to start using that to our advantage. That's the shit that has to drive us. And we got to just start hitting it every day, you know? Figure out that balance in your life. Figure out what it is you need to balance. Whether you too much in this area, too much in this area, you know what I mean? Too much in the middle, you know what I mean? Find out where you need to balance out. And then once you meditate on that, then figure out how to keep that going. How to keep the balance. Then make it a routine. Make it a part of you. You know what I mean? Quit following for other people's agreements. You know what I mean? And be you. Have your own agreements. Do your own research. Have your own mindset of positivity. Eventually, you will see the fruits of that labor. But you got to have patience with yourself, like I said earlier. We got to realize there are a lot of pieces to the puzzle of this big picture that you have. So just like you're in the progress of being betterment for yourself, or, you know, maybe you're in reflecting mode, reflecting mode, and you're trying to figure out what's your next step, what's your next move. At the same time, you can I guess the word I'm looking for is I'm sorry, I do this all the time. Just forget about it. Either way go, get you a routine, get that balance. Back against the wall, all you can do is go forward. Because progress is the key. Progression is the key. Every day progress. Every day get better. Every day be you. Remain true. Stand your ground for who you are. Stand your ground for your mind. You know what I mean? Don't cheat yourself. You got enough things and enough people out here already cheating you. Don't cheat yourself by rushing things because you don't see all the pieces to the bigger picture of the puzzle. So while again, that's what I was saying. When you're in that mode of getting better, there's someone else who's getting better too. That may be a piece to the puzzle, but they're not ready. You see what I'm saying? Allow the universe time to, saute this shit and cook it right. Don't nobody like no fucked up meal. If somebody was coming to cook you, your favorite meal, would you want them to rush it just so you can get it faster? Or because that's your favorite meal, you want that motherfucker to take their time and you patient no matter how good it smells. No matter how good you want to go in the kitchen and, get out the pot. You don't, because you want that full course meal the way you like it, the way you envision it. It's the same thing with ourselves, with our thoughts, with our goals, with our dreams, our admirations, all that. Let the universe work. Your goal is to make sure you're ready, though. That's our goal, to make sure we're ready for when the universe presses play on what it is that you're trying to manifest. And when the inevitable comes about, you're ready. We spend so much time making sure everybody else is ready and everybody else is doing their thing, but we forget that the main person who needs to get ready for this life is ourselves, because it's our life. Can't nobody else be prepared for your life like you can. So don't cheat yourself. Don't beat on yourself. You're not alone. I know you may feel like you're alone, but I'm hoping I'm saying things that are going through your mind. I'm hoping some of these feelings I'm touching on are helping you kink some of these things out. And I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking from experience. Like, this is stuff that I just had to had an epiphany on myself. Hence why I wanted to come talk to y'all, because I have not had that balance, and I need to balance out everything. I don't need to just be reflecting and thinking and meditating. I need to still be applying action to my thoughts. You know, everything corresponds in this universe. Everything corresponds with you as a person. Who you are, how you are, where you are, when you are, all that corresponds to where you will be, who you will become, the inevitable. Man, these things and these talks are what I'm called to do. That's the inevitable for me. The inevitable for me is being a father and being there for others, talking to others, listening to others, and helping people connect dots, showing people their universal clues. Wonderful friend of mine, Cece, she told me she had a wonderful quote herself. She said, if you gotta go, if you need money to do it, it's either not of God or not of God's time. And it does. I don't want God to be just the only words you hear. You know what I mean? It could be God, universe, higher self. It's all connected to me. That's my belief. I believe we are gods. You know what I mean? But to continue, she said, if it takes money for you to do it, it's either not of God, of the universe, of higher self, or it's not on God's time, the universe's time, or your higher self's time. Everything God did in this world, He did it without money. Quit letting your life be driven and battered by paper, money. Because that's the main reason this whole world is detoured. Majority of the world seeds just died. Let's change this stuff around. In my mind, when I hear the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, I believe the Garden of Eden was the mind. And that apple was a bad seed. That's what I got. No more bad seeds, no more apples given to us by others when we know what it is we're supposed to be doing. You get what I'm saying? And I hope you do. Man, I appreciate talking to y'all today. I might definitely get back to doing this podcast, and especially with this new approach I'm doing. Just throwing myself out there. I really want to be there for people, kind of like a life coach, but not just a life coach. I want to be a motivating therapeutic mentor, because I am your motivating therapeutic mentor, Scotty B himself. I will talk to y'all later. Always be great. Be you. Never quit. Never settle. And be mindful of what you let into your mind. I will talk to y'all later. Much love. Conscious efforts out.